Hello and welcome to Up the Neck, Lesson 5. So by now we've covered quite a bit regarding where the 1 is, where the low 4 is, where the low 5 is, where the high 4 is, and where the high 5 is, and where the high 1 is. Again, we knew where the 1 was, the low 4, the low 5, the 1, the higher 4, the higher 5, and the higher 1. Well, we're going to take it one step further. As we learned in the earlier lessons when we talked about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chords, there were 3 couples. Well, what we're going to learn right now is that each one of those chords has their relative minor there with just a very little finger change. So what we're going to start with first is, since we've been playing in the sandwich position and I'm playing up here in the key of G, we're going to start right here. To turn this into its relative minor or E minor, all I have to do is put my little finger right underneath and bar it. And there I have my E minor again. That's a really easy chord change there. Now, if I'm going to go to my low 4, of course, the chord was in its entirety, the C. I just again have to put the finger underneath and bar it. Of course, that would hold true when I moved up to the 5. In the D, of course, just move the finger underneath, and then the finger underneath, and then, of course, I'm back to my 1. Now, we have a high 4 here. I'm going to change my fingering, and I'm doing a D minor fingering that you would do in first position, to bring up my A minor. I'm back to my high 5. I'm changing my fingering again. For my B minor, I'm back to my high 1, and this would be the E minor. So again, let's talk about that, and I'm going to go through it slow, and I'm going to arpeggiate them, and we'll talk about it. I'm starting on the 1 chord. I'm going to the minor. Now here I want to bring this up right here. We learned in the last lesson for the major chord, the tonic was my little finger. For all of the relative minors, the tonic's going to be my index finger. So take note of that. Every time I go to the relative minor, I'm going to center at this for this exercise and this explanation around my index finger. So here again, starting 1 to its relative minor, a low 4 to the pointer for the minor, up to the 5, little finger for the tonic of the major, to the pointer for the minor, the B minor, back to the, now the high 4, I'm switching fingers to the index, then I'm here to my high 5, to my index, so again, 1, H minor, low 4, it's minor, low 5, it's minor, back to the 1, it's relative minor, high 4, it's relative minor, high 5, it's relative minor, back to the 1, and it's high relative minor. Now, with those chords right there, and then incidentally, I'll put in the 7 chord, meaning the F chord would be right here, its minor would be there. So you have every chord that you would need, 1 through 6, plus the flatted 7 and its relative minors, all in one position. Now we're going to learn how to use those with right hand techniques and how to use them around melodies in future lessons. But today I want you just to practice where all of these chords are, because wherever you have the 1, you have its relative minor, the 6. Wherever you have a 4 chord, you have its relative minor, the 2 chord. Wherever you have a 5 chord, you have its relative minor, the 3 chord. And then, of course, where you have the 1, you have the 6. You'll have all those chords in one position,